All right, we have Crystal Mercer, my dear friend, on the podcast. We always start off with an icebreaker. So we are in Mexico. You do a lot of cruises, right?
I do. A lot of traveling.
Yeah, a lot of traveling. So you come to a resort like this. Do you do excursions?
Not when I come to a resort, but when I cruise, I do.
Okay. So what's your number one go-to excursion? Do you have one that you keep going back to?
No, we generally do like private tours with people. It's a lot more intimate. My husband's not really into hanging out with a bunch of strangers, so yeah.
You don't like to hang out with strangers?
I do. He doesn't. Yeah.
What? He doesn't?
No, he doesn't.
So is there one so what are you doing? You doing private tours of like the island or?
Yeah, we like to go see like how the local people live and like different things like that and like explore things that most people wouldn't see like off the beaten path.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then there's some people who go parasailing. Those people are insane.
We've done that too.
No.
Yeah,
there
that's
ain't
a lot
no
of
way.
fun.
I see them out here out the window. We're in Cancun, Mexico at the Lanza Healing Center for them. I'm like, there's no way.
Jeff and I have been talking about, are we going to go do that today? Like, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely should. I'll take your picture.
Yeah.
There was another couple that's here. They just dove. I think they went down 140 feet. And they went through this tunnel that was dark. I was sweating. I'm like, you need to quit talking. I'm having anxiety.
Yeah.
How many cruises have you been on?
We've been on 19 cruises.
19 cruises.
Yeah. But we've done a lot of flying to locations too. So
let me ask you this. Where's the best place you've been to that stuck out more?
My two favorite trips we've been on was we took a trip to Iceland. And that was really cool. That was just last year for our anniversary. And then we did our Alaska trip was my top for sure.
I would love to do both of those. Aaron and I were going to do Alaska. I think it was our 5-year anniversary, and the travel agent talked us out of it. They're like, there's going to be nothing but old people there. And I was like, that's fine with me. Like, go to bed at 8 p.m., eat at 6.
That was my jam. Yeah, for sure. We did Alaska, I think, for our 25th wedding anniversary. And then we just did Northern Europe for our 30th. So, yeah.
Wow. You are traveling a lot. So Alaska and Iceland is where I need to go next.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Book it. All right, let's jump into today's episode. How we talked in the pool, because like you get wild. You get wild. Like we got this relationship where you just love to give me heck. And I love that.
You're such an easy target.
I need that more in my life. But yeah, every time I see you, I'm like, you guys are just always fun to be around. Like I love that you're just like, hey, this is who I am. I don't give a crap what anybody else thinks. Yeah. And you're just that's something to look at. I'm like, I appreciate that, because in this industry, everybody's trying to outdo everybody and like prove they got, and you're just like, hey, this is who I am. And so I'm like,
I always think back to when I was in cosmetology school back in 93 and 94. It's a long time. I was only like 8.
The 1900s?
Yeah, the 1900s. And I just remember I went to a pivot point school, and they taught people skills. And I remember him saying, you have to adjust your personality to every one of your clients. And I'm thinking, how exhausting is that? Like, there's no way I can do that. And I just, I've never been able to, I'm just always the same person, and the clients who don't like it, I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not for everybody, but for the ones I am for, they've been with me 30 years. So,
but we were talking about this yesterday, how people are like, hey, I appreciate you because I know where I stand with you.
Yeah.
And that's something when I worked for other organizations and had a boss, I appreciated that, because you're not like, am I doing a good job? Am I not? Like, I don't know. And like, if there's something I need to do, just tell me. Well, be kind about it, but like, tell me.
I just remember times in my life when I was like, because I love big, and I've been like obsessed with people. Like, I just love them. They're so fun to be around. And I love being in their aura, and then find out later that they never could stand me, and I'm like, well, God, that sucks, so I never want to make
You're going to find out, be like, Evan didn't even like me.
I'm really okay with that though. Yeah. But I just never want to make anybody else feel like that. Like,
right.
I don't want anybody leaving from being in my presence and feeling worse about themselves. So, and I don't always hit the mark, but sometimes
we're never going to like do it 100%, right?
Yeah.
So you have a salon in Summerville, South Carolina, right outside of Charleston.
Yep.
How long have you had the salon?
I've had this location for 5 years. We've been open a little over 4. but I had to build it. So, and I had a salon previous to that for 13 years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And you had a business partner in that one, and this one, you're sole owner.
This one's just me. Yeah.
Those 5 years, what's been the highs? Like, what are the things you look back, you're like, this was a great moment in that 5 years?
I've just really enjoyed watching the young stylists grow. Like, I love to hire the ones who don't even speak and then watch them be rock stars,
Yeah.
That's been huge. One of my stylists has been with me over 16 years, and she's like that. She's a very quiet, reserved person. And I don't know why she still hangs out with me, but she does. And I just see them in her, or I see her in them, where I see how amazing she is and how good of an educator she is and how much of a team player she is. And I know that I can develop these little quiet little mice into that person. And
Right.
It's just been fun watching that.
Right. Because you're focused on training.
Yes.
I feel like since I've known you, you're a systems person.
Yeah, I'm definitely a spreadsheet nerd, systems
So
person.
what's the system in the past 5 years that you put into place, and afterwards you're like, how did I operate without having a system? Like if it's a handbook or anything.
I'm the kind of person, I had a handbook before I had a salon. Yeah. And so that's very important to me that things are in writing, that no one can say, well, I didn't know that. Well, if there's something you don't know, let me know, because we'll go in writing,
Right.
we'll make sure everybody knows. So business wise, the one thing that I discovered most recently in this company is using a color management system. That's been amazing for our team and for our culture. And what other salon owners, I hope they realize, because I've talked to a few here at the event, and they're like, oh, I would never charge customers for their color and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, you kind of are when you charge them an extra bowl of color. Like, what do you charge for that? And they're like, $25. I'm like, it was probably $7 worth of color. And so you're kind of ripping off your clients anyway, when you could just be making sure that you're covered. And, you're leaving so much revenue on the table for your business. And I use that revenue personally. I put it all in a separate account for just my team. And so I took our entire team on a cruise in January. And I take them on trips, and we have cookouts, and we spend a weekend at a lake a couple weeks back. And all of that is free to them because of me using every opportunity in my company to gain that momentum moving forward with money. Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because I always think of the mechanic industry. How you go in, you come out, and it's like, what are all these charges?
Yep.
Well, the people think the same thing about the salon, and with Vish, it itemizes it, and you can see where everything's going.
Yep.
So it's just being more transparent. How long have you had Vish?
When I started this company, I started with a management system, but I've had Vish for 3 years, I think.
Okay.
3 of the 4. I still get a little pushback, especially from the ones who are always in someone else's purse. I'm like, get out of her business. If she didn't want to come here, she wouldn't, So I do get pushback from a few of them, well, couldn't we include some of the color? I'm like, well, no, because, this is how we do it. So, So I get a little bit of pushback still, but I just got rid of all the scales that weren't Vish related. They don't have an option, and I've made it very clear that it's considered theft if you do it without a scale.
Yeah.
So
we had somebody that we had to let go of our company years ago, and we found out afterwards they were eyeballing color in the back because we took away all the scales as well.
Yeah.
I was like, well, see ya.
Yeah, and I just wish that more hairdressers and service providers would understand the business end of it.
Right.
Because I explained to them, I want this company to live beyond me. If I were to not get home from Mexico, I want it to still survive and them have a good place to work and them to have the systems in place and everyone to know what's expected of them, whether I'm there or not.
Yeah, that's such a great statement because Erin just talked about the Artist Academy and how she's here. We have 3 training, and it's just systematized.
Yeah.
Thinking about how we ran our companies 10 years ago,
right?
I'm like,
hope and a prayer.
I'm like, we didn't have our software was mediocre. We didn't have Vish or any scale software. I'm like, to make money in the salon, this is the best time to do it because you got all the data and whatnot. So
you definitely have the the resources if people would just take advantage of them and utilize them.
And understand them.
Yes.
A lot of them, they're like, oh, I don't understand this, and they throw it away.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, shameless plug. We want to continue to serve. Check out the App Store. Type in The Refined Network. It's available both on Apple and Android. Here's the thing. It's a way that we can continue to serve you. All of our podcasts, all of our digital resources, and our community is there. Here's the thing. We believe that we're better together. Back to the episode.
So you have a waiting list for people that want to work in your company?
We do.
All right. So tell me about that. Tell me about your hiring process. You got to wait because people are like, wait, I can't even get people to show up. Like, how do you have a waiting list?
I think it's just because of our reputation in the community. Like, I don't say always, but 99% of the time I hire from people who are still in school. Because I really remember how much I hated cosmetology school and just wanted to quit. I was very young in cosmetology school. I was only 16 and 17 years old. And the only reason I made it through is my brother kept telling me, you're not going to make it through. You don't do anything. I'm like, screw you.
The motivation.
Yeah. I'm very like bullheaded. You tell me I can't, I'm going to do it 3 times. So I just remember how much I hated being in cosmetology school and how mean girls were and just how awful that was. And so I really try to hire them while they're in school so they can see that that's not what the real world is like, you know? The word gets out and then their friends see how well they've done with our company. And so then they're like, I want to go work there too. And so I get 3 to 5 applications a week of people wanting to work there. But I'm trying to scale it back a little and not have too many associates at once and not too many people building at once. And so we've kind of had to rein it in a little bit.
Yeah, you get that.
Yeah.
We've done it before.
Yeah.
We're like, get them all in. And then we're
in.
like, oh, shoot, our cash flow is very low. When did you start doing hair?
In 94 when I was 17.
And then you had your first kid?
When I was 15.
When you were 15.
Yeah.
So how do you, as a leader, lead when you have 17 and 18-year-olds, like talking about stress and anxiety? They don't know if they can do that. When you had a work ethic, I mean, that would most people would just been like tapped out. So how do you lead through that?
That was one of probably the hardest skills for me to develop because I didn't have that coddling, you know, and I just wanted to snatch them up and say, just do it, damn it. So I've developed that skill over the years. And so what I just tend to do is just try to lead them through it. And, you know, I know that their issues are big to them, you know, and I want to be sure that they know that I believe in them and that their issues are valid. But one of the things I like to say to them a lot is it does not matter where you start. What matters is where you end, and you're the only one that can control that. And they see that I've done that. You know, there's nowhere in the world written that I should be where I am today. I'm getting ready to buy a $1.5 million property and expand our salon, you know, and as a teenage mom and high school dropout, like that's not supposed to happen.
Right.
You know? So I just really try to lead by example for that, for them and for anybody in my orbit, you know, because I just feel like that I'm the only one that can control where I end up, and I'm going to make sure that it's where I want to be, you know? So that's what I try to lead them through.
Yeah. I mean, you had the odds against you.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure people in your life back then were like, this is not.
Oh, I was the screw up. Yeah. I was the one that was, you know, that's just Crystal.
Yeah.
You know, what does she do now? Kind of thing.
Right.
And, you know, because I was really into having fun. I was like, is it legal or not? I don't care. Let's do it. You know, like if we didn't get caught, let's try it again. You know,
still have that.
I kind of had that streak. Yeah. Luckily I have Jeffrey, who's, you know, he's the voice of reason.
You seek out a lot of coaching. You've got
do.
coached by multiple coaching companies.
Yes.
A salon owner that's not like doesn't have any coaching. Talk to them a little bit of like why they would pursue coaching, because it takes a little bit of humility to be like, hey, I need some help and guidance.
Yeah.
Which honestly, I mean, everybody does, you know?
I've always kind of been that person to doubt myself because of, you know, my upbringing and all the things I went through. But, so I've always been like, well, there's got to be something I don't know. Like, what do I not know? Like, I'm doing all right, but am I doing it by chance or by choice, you know?
Right.
And so for me, I've always sought out coaching to develop systems. And because like I said, I want this to live beyond me. I don't want to just cut hair until I die. You know, like I want to be able to offer benefits to our team and, you know, watch them grow and succeed and not feel like they have to go get a job at Target just so they can have health insurance,
right.
You know, things
Yeah.
like that. So,
yeah, it's heartbreaking when I'm coaching a salon and they're like, you know, this stylist is having to work a second job.
yeah.
And I'm like, oh, that's like, and that's what Christopher does at the Refined Network is like, hey, we're going to have skill coaching where your people at level 1 hitting their goals can live in the community that they serve. Now, if they're associates and they're working second jobs, I kind of like that. It gives a little bit of work ethic.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I get it. Like you're grinding and have that work ethic. So.
Well, and one of the things about hiring them while they're still in school, that also shows me their work ethic. If they're willing to go to school full time and still work for me, and not call out all the time and not be super whiny and fussy the whole time, like that helps me decide if they're going to make it into my associate program once they're licensed stylists.
So are you in the schools? Are you visiting the schools and teaching in the schools?
Yeah, I do.
All right. So how?
In North and South Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
North and South.
Yeah. I have a friend who runs a cosmetology program in North Carolina, and I go to her school as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you recruiting from North Carolina?
Her school is like right at the border. So most of her students are dual licensed because they can take one board and get dual license with an extra fee.
Oh, okay. What would you tell a salon owner? It's like, okay, I hear you. I need to get into school. How do I do that? Like, what's some first steps?
Well, almost all the schools have like career days and, opportunity days. And like 2 or 3 of the different schools in our area have like panel of professionals where they'll ask salon owners to come in and just let students ask questions just openly. And I really just do those. And then a lot of times they'll email me and say, hey, would you mind teaching on this subject or whatever? And if I have the time, I will. I don't do as much of that just because time has been tougher with building this new space and that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, the schools love that. They want people to come help.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think as salon owners, they don't think that they want salon owners in, and they really do.
Yeah.
Last thing, was it you that told me that you had an associate or someone in the company that you asked to sweep and they didn't know how to sweep?
Oh, dear Lord. Everyone that I hire under 25 has never used a broom. Like they Swiffer. And I realized that one day because she like pushes. I'm like, what are you doing with that broom?
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought like it was just foreign to them.
Well, but
so
it
they were
kind of is. They know how to Swiffer because, at home they push this little thing around.
Yeah.
But yeah, they don't know how to use the actual broom to sweep hair
We'll
into
throw
an
that
eye
into
bag.
the Artist Academy.
You have to, man. You have to. Like, I think that should be lesson 1. Yeah.
Oh, man. I remember you told me that. I was like, you've got to be kidding.
Nope. And it happens all the time. And I'll tap somebody on the shoulder and say, hey, watch her. And we'll just like laugh. And like, then I'll say, girl, let me show you how to use that broom,
That's hilarious. Well, Crystal, it's always a pleasure. You've been on your best behavior. I'm kind of shocked.
I'm trying.
Yeah. I love spending time. I love hearing about the growth. Like you are so focused. You're not like, we're just going to open the door and do what we can do. You're like, you are focused. You are growing a company, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see your new space.
Well, I'll be honest. I wouldn't know how to do that without coaching because
Right.
I didn't even go to high school,
Yeah, we get in our heads, and
yeah.
we need somebody to be like, it's like
Exactly.
you take a football reference. Tom Brady throws an interception. The coach is like, hey, get that out of your mind. You're
Yeah.
going to get right back out there.
That's right.
So,
yeah. So,
awesome.
I mean, without coaching, and my biggest thing is I like to surround myself with people who are smarter than me because
Yep.
I know a lot, but it got to be something I don't know. So I want to be around people who know more than I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks.
And, instead of being on the beach,
Oh,
go
I'm
get
going there
Jeff
next.
some drinks over there and enjoy your day. Thanks for being on the podcast.
Thanks, man.